this video I'm going to show you 4 ways that you can simplify your golf swing. So the first way we can simplify our golf swing is to set up in an impact position. So that would mean when I'm hitting an iron that I want the shaft of the club to be leaning forward a little bit this way. So you can see my hands are in front of the midpoint of the body, and that's where I'd be if I was striking the ball correctly at impact. Now also I'm going to lean my body a little bit left, so I'm leaning into my left side, so my left leg and shoulder, they're building one line. So I've got my left side of the body in one line, and I'm leaning the shaft forward, and I have a small angle on the right side. So that would be my setup, a lot more like the impact position. Okay. Now also really important in this position is that the right arm is going to have a little bit of bend, just as it would at impact. It wouldn't be completely straight. We want that arm to have a little bit of bend. And we also want to have a little bit of bend in the back of the right wrist. So that's really important, having this arm this way, the body leaning left and the shaft leaning forward. So now I'm in a starting position that mirrors my impact position. Okay, in impact I might be just a little bit further forward as I'm in motion, but that's what I want to do. So if we use the analogy of a hammer and nail, if I was hammering a nail, I wouldn't want to start with my arm in this position here, with the arm straight and the wrist straight, and then try and find a way to hit the nail. I would actually start, if I was holding a hammer, I would start with a little bit of bend in the right wrist, in the right arm, and then I would be able to hammer the nail. And I would also start with that hammer right next to the nail. There'd be a little bit of lean on the hammer, and then I would be able to put pressure into that nail with the hammer. I would never start hammering with the arm and the wrist backwards this way. So the same applies to golf. We're really trying to use the golf club as a hammer and the ball as the nail, and we want to really hit the middle of the club face onto the middle of the ball, and so we really want to start in this position here. Okay, the second way to simplify your swing and make it more repeatable is to control the radius of the hands throughout the swing. So when we're talking about the radius of the hands, we're talking about the distance from the left hand or the grip end of the club here to the sternum. So that distance I want to maintain throughout the swing. So I want to maintain it on the back swing here, all the way up, and same on the downswing and on the follow through. So to do that, what's going to happen is that I'm going to let the right arm fold into the body early in the backswing. That way I'm able to keep the distance the same. Now as I swing to the top, the right upper arm will come a little bit away from the body, the elbow's pointing down, but I've still kept this distance. Okay, it's going to feel a bit wider up here because the arm's away, but that distance has stayed the same throughout the backswing. Same on the downswing, the right arm will come back onto the body, this distance is the same. Same down into impact. Now on the way through, the left arm is going to fold, and that way I can maintain the radius right throughout the swing. So what we want to avoid is any sort of extension of the radius in this direction. Okay, so that if I extend my arms too far away, now I'm too far away from my body with my hands, I'm going to have to come back and get narrow again. It's going to make things more complicated. So that's a very common thing we see is an extension of the radius in this direction. It will also pull my body away from its starting position. So it makes contact a lot more difficult. Another way we see the radius extended is away from the body in this direction. So now I'm too far away here, and that's going to make the shaft of the club very flat and the club face open. So there are 2 ways that people extend the radius too much, and it's a common thing that we see. So we really want to learn to just keep the radius the same throughout the swing, all the way through. Okay, so the third way we're going to simplify our swing is just to learn to turn the body or coil the body in a small area. So we don't want to have a swing like this where the body turns but it moves way over here. So I want my head always to be pretty much in the middle of my feet, and I want to learn to get my body turned like this. So I've still stayed in this position here. So if we go back to the starting position, so we talked about getting this side all in line. So it's as if I'm standing against the wall here. So if we imagine that my left shoulder's on the wall at the moment, when I swing away, that shoulder's going to come a little bit off the wall, but not too much. So you can see if my shoulder starts in this position, and I I move the shoulders this way, I'm much too far away from the wall now. I've got a long way to go back. So we want to get that coil in the body in a small area like this. So the best way to do that is maintain the radius like we said on the second point, and get the club and arm swinging first. So that way I feel like my arms are pulling my shoulders into a turn rather than moving the whole shoulder girdle way over here by itself this way. I want my arms to pull me into a coil, so I've got enough turn and I've turned in a small area. So it's going to make it much easier to come back and hit the ball, get into the right impact position. Okay, so the fourth way we can simplify our swing is to maintain our posture in the backswing. So we want to start with a good posture, so back straight, bending forward from the hips, a little bit of bend in the knees, arms hanging relaxed, and then when we swing back, we want to maintain this inclination of the body. So I'm going to make sure that I stay over as I'm swinging back. It's going to make my swing nice and compact here, but I'm in a much better position to hit repeatable golf shots. Now if I swing the club back and the momentum lifts me, then it's going to be much more difficult. I've moved the centre of the swing. It's going to be much more difficult to hit consistent shots. So what we want to make sure is, one, we create a good posture at the start, and now as I'm swinging back, I'm maintaining my posture, but you can see that as I get to the top of the swing here, there's some turn here in the lower body. So by getting this little bit of turn, so my left knee's working out a little bit, the right knee's working back, my hips are turning, and that allows me to stay over the ball this way. So if I have too little turn in the lower body here, that will also give me a tendency to lift up. So we want to make sure that we've got a little bit of turn in the body here. We start in a good posture when we stand to the ball, and we don't let the momentum of the club lift us up. We want a little bit of turn and a compact swing here. So I hope this video can simplify your swing, make it more consistent and repeatable. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and I'll see you soon in the next video.